He wasn't a scientist, mogul, or an natural-born winner. He was a penniless salesman with no degrees, and to soda failure his past. Still, in one of the bleakest eras in U.S. history, I invented a beverage with an odd recipient, a name even stranger. One that eventually pulled in billions. This is the lesser-known tale of Charles Grigg, who, guided only by determination and hunches, created one of the world's most recognizable sodas. You know the drink. But the man behind Seven, almost no one remembers. How close he came to fading away before changing a tonic into a fortune. A salesman with no backup. Charles Grigg entered the world on May 11, 1868. In Price's Branch, Missouri, a tiny rural community with scarce prospects, Heggett only basic schooling and lacked formal training in science or business. From early on, he needed to work. Grigg started by printing ads in local papers, then took up various sales jobs, such as asheware and ad space. These jobs paid little, but they gave him crucial insight into how goods got marketed and how buyer preferences were shaped by messaging as much as by quality. Grigg became adept at sensing what customers wanted to hear and how they wished it told. In his early 20s, Grigg moved to St. Louis, Missouri, a burgeoning center for trade, industry, and new ideas. There he landed a job as an ad salesman, a role thought fit his persuasive nature. He was not part of the elite business set, and he had no beverage industry ties. What he did possess was determination. It's an eye for product appeal and a wish to build something his own. While composing ads for others, Grigg grew more aware he was building other people's legacies, a big in watching which products thrived and which failed. He studied the cycles of consumer buying. St. Louis was then a hotbed for soda creation. Bottling plants were multiplying and flavored drinks were gaining popularity by localities. Grigg saw that beverages had one of the greatest repeat purchase rates. People didn't just buy a drink once. If they liked it, they bought it again and again. This revelation stuck with him. He wasn't yet an inventor, nor was Herrick or famous, but he was quietly getting ready to enter one of the most-to-throat consumer markets, America. His first brush with both triumph and loss. Charles Grigg's first notable success came in 1919, after years hustling in marketing and sales. He joined the Vest Soda Company, St. Louis-based business, looking to grow its product line. Spotting the increasing popularity of flavored sodas, Grigg created a carbonated orange beverage, naming it Whistle. Unlike most drinks of that era, Whistle had a sharp, distinct taste without too much sweetness. It stood apart in the local market and quickly won fans. Grigg had made a product that consumers loved, and that brought in profits. But even though he developed Whistle, Grigg neither owned the recipe nor controlled the company's direction. Rights to the drink were held by Vest, run by Silas B. Mason, and other Bazaswo saw Grigg as just an employee, not a partner. As Whistle became more successful, internal friction grew. Grigg wanted a bigger say and more control over his creation. Omenagieman refused. Tensions mounted, and Grigg was ousted from the company. He left with no rights, no royalties, and no legal claim to the soda he invented. The blowers, crushing. His first big windy sappered, overnight. Yet instead, Afquitting Grigg used the loss as fuel for a new resolve. He knew now that talent wasn't enough. So were ownership and control. He was determined that next time, his creation would be his alone. Though jobless and broke, Grigg had learned a vital lesson. Never invent for someone else's profit. That belief pushed him onward, now as a founder with full authority over his next drink, the Howdy Trial. After leaving Vest, Charles Grigg started a company of his own. He teamed up with Frank Gladney, an experienced bottler, and Edmund G. Ridgway, a businessman who brought capital. Together, they formed the Howdy Company, named for their first creation, Howdy Orange. Grigg took lessons from Whistle's rise and poured energy into making a drink that was bright, tasty, and positioned to rival Orange Crush. Then the top orange. Soda. The formula was skillful. Balanced citrus, lively bubbles, catchy branding. But breaking into sodas was harder than Grigg had guessed. Orange Crush had national presence, locked-in contracts, and strong marketing. Distributors beyond a few local bottlers. Grigg and Partners saw Kosser's sales stay lukewarm, and retailers doubt whether shelves needed another orange soda. Grigg was annoyed, but not beaten. He noticed a shift in tastes. People wanted lighter, crisper drinks, refreshing but not sugary. This pattern caught his eye. Instead of forcing another orange soda into the market, Grigg began testing a lemon-lime blend. He believed that, the right formula, something both unique and universally appealing, he could carve out a whole new category. This was more a theme, a tweak. It was a creative leap. A bold move away from two earlier failures, while others focused on colas and fruit sodas. Grigg quietly returned, experimenting, working on something traily new. His next drink would be more than just a soda, would shake up entire business. A peculiar recipe with a lengthy name. Working behind the scenes at Howdy, Charles Grigg started crafting a lemon-lime soda, unlike any other. He tried natural citrus oils, mixing lemon and lime extracts to get a flavor that was sharp, clean, and refreshing, not heavy or cloying. But taste wasn't enough. Grigg wanted his drink to stand out in effect as well. Drawing on patent medicines, he added a bit of lithium citrate, phenyl used in tonics for mood and anxiety. The result, a fizzy citrus drink with a subtle therapeutic twist. In October 1929, 2 weeks before the stock market crash, Grigg launched its Osbeeb label, lithiated lemon-lime soda. The branding was unwieldy and tough to market, but the drink got attention. In a time of national stress and uncertainty, its calming claims drew interest. Pharmacists and bottle shoes struggled with old-fashioned tonicsware, intrigued by Grigg's mix of taste and function. Sales started slow, but word spread. The drink was advertised as uplifting and stabilizing without medines, bitterness, or colas. Wait, Grigg realized he'd made something special, a beverage with emotional value during a troubled era. Despite the Great Depression's chaos, Grigg stood firm. He refined the blend, listened to feedback, and improved production. The main problem was its name, too long, too clinical, and not fitting the brand's new appeal. To succeed nationally, the drink needed a better name as much as a better taste. 7-Up arrives, and America pays attention. By the early 1930s, Charles Grigg took a bold step of rebranding his growing lemon-lime drink. The original Numbib label, lithiated lemon-lime soda, was a marketing headache. It was awkward and didn't match the drink's simple, refreshing identity. Grigg's team shortened it to 7-Up, a snappy name that people could easily remember. Theories abounded about the name. The original 7 ounces bottle, 7 ingredients, or lithium's atomic number. Whatever its source, the rebrand worked. The new identity and growing recognition, 7-Up spread past the Midwest. Its appeal wastes its clarity both in flavor and look. Unlike Colo Stark sugary caffeinated 7-Up was clear, free of caffeine and seen. As pure, it offered a fresh option for those wanting simple, wholesome sodas. Grigg marketed 7-Up as more than a drink, it was a way of life. Early it's emphasized family, wellness, and purity. Campaigns showed mothers and kids miling with 7-Up, cementing its role as a safe, everyday soda. While colas had bold, masculine branding, 7-Up's image was about trust and consistency. Therapeutic reputation also helped. Even after lithium was removed, 7-Up kept its beneficial image, seen as both refreshing and uplifting. Grigg had found the balance between newness and familiarity. With the new name taking hold and bottling deal spreading, 7-Up moved from a local Autotito, a national challenger, was no longer just a survival project. It was a major force in the American soda scene, from small soda to pop culture icon. As 7-Up's reach grew in the 1940s, it became a household staple. Bottles nationwide adopted it for its steady sales and broad appeal. During World War II, it's caffeine-free. Recipe gave it a boost. As rationing and health trends made cola alternatives more appealing, the drink's pure, wholesome, imaginated with families wanting a safe, refreshing choice, especially in times of scarcity. In 1948, a crucial shift occurred. The U.S. FDA banned lithium in foods and drinks. Griggs' original formula had included lithium citrate, then popular as a mood booster. By then, though, 7-Up had loyal fans who didn't care about its medicinal roots. Lithium was dropped, but sales held steady, proving its broader appeal. Through the 1950s and 60s, 7-Up leaned on family-friendly ads and strong branding. It appeared in national magazines, radio, and TV as the drink for all ages. Clear bottles and green labels became signature features. Griggs' team used lines like, "You like it, it likes you," stressing physical and emotional refreshment. By the late 60s, 7-Up was doing well enough to attract big corporate interest. In 1969, it was bought by Westinghouse Electric, bringing more resources and marketing reach. This support was crucial for the next decade. In the 1970s, 7-Up launched its most daring ad campaign, the Uncola. With competition from Coke and Pepsi growing, 7-Up needed to stand out. With bigger ad budgets from Westinghouse, the brand reinvented itself by promoting what it wasn't. It wasn't therapy, wasn't a cola. It was crisp, clear, and unique. The campaign used bright, playful imagery, lemons, limes, tropical scenes, to stress its originality. The tone was bold and youthful, matching the era's spirit. By claiming the Uncola label, 7-Up connected with a generation ready for change. It became more than a drink. It was a cultural signature. The Uncola campaign not only kept 7-Up in the spotlight, it iconic. The new image drew attention, boosted market share, and built loyalty among younger buyers. It also set the stage for what was next. 7-Up's rise to $1 billion brand down by some of the world's biggest companies, climbing the corporate ladder to billions under Westinghouse. 7-Up got larger ad budgets and a bigger distribution network, but the real change came in 1978 when Philip Morris, the tobacco and packaged goods giant, bought the company. With greater funds and nationwide reach, Philip Morris streamlined operations, widened bottling agreements, and scaled 7-Up's presence in stores, fast food, and vending. By the early 80s, 7-Up was a core piece of a growing consumer empire. In 1986, Philip Morris sold the beverage at Ozon to investment firm Hicks and Haas, who in 1988 merged 7-Up with Dr. Pepper, creating Dr. Pepper 7-Up. This merger made the third largest soft drink maker and thus behind only Coke and Pepsi. The combined company brought new efficiencies, a national bottling system, and more market power. Over time, the business split further. PepsiCo gained international rights, selling 7-Up in Asia, Europe, and Latin America. In America, 7-Up stayed under what is now Keurig Dr. Pepper, part of a beverage portfolio worth $46 billion in 2025. What began as a Depression-era soda from a determined salesman became a global brand valued in the billions. The man was gone, but his invention became part of corporate history, a legacy of selling flavor and hope. Charles Leiper Grigg died in 1940, just as 7-Up was gaining national steam. He never get to see his soda on worldwide shelves or the billion-dollar Mergersan global deals that followed. Still, every milestone the brand hit was rooted in the business values Grigg forged in hard times. Own your ideas. Adapt. Ansel not just a product, but a feeling. He wasn't a chemist or a wealthy titan. He was a self-taught marketer who trusted instinct and understood people. Grigg's core belief that customers would value simplicity, clarity, and emotional appeal shaped 7-Up's journey from its early days as a nerve-soothing refreshment to its later era as Voon Cola. 7-Up stayed true to his vision: be different and own it. His story is really taught in business schools. But it's a classic American tale. He fled Weiss, lost one soda, and saw another falter. Yet he kept trying, and when he launched a quirky lemon lime soda with a medicinal twist, he laid the foundation for a global brand. Now, 7UP is made in thousands of nations, advertised worldwide, and belongs to one of the world's most valuable drink companies. Its long life fight, just due to smart ads or mergers. But to the stubborn drive of a man, wow it didn't let failure define him. Who turned modest skills into lasting pampact, and who believed ordinary products could lift spirits if shared with purpose. Greg didn't just invent a soda. He proved belief can be bottled. Share your thoughts on 7UP below. Thanks for reading. See you soon.